Welcome to episode 206 of the 2-Minute Warning. Today we're looking at the New York Jets getting their first one of the season, Jacksonville Jaguars jumping into the number one spot for the NFL draft and likely being in position to take Trevor Lawrence in the upcoming draft. Big change for the NFL. I think everyone's been anticipating and a lot of people have been hoping for the Jets to finally get a win and the Jaguars to take that number one pick. I'll get into that for a second, but I think something that needs to be acknowledged that no one's really talking about is what does this mean for the Los Angeles Rams? I mean, you just lost to literally the worst team of football. Does this loss kind of take them away from Super Bowl contenders? Yeah, I think the Rams will still make playoffs, possibly a deep playoff run, but to me, how do you have any faith in them when you just lost to literally the worst team of football when you have a solid QB, an amazing coach, and Sean McVay, arguably a top 5 defense? I really thought they were the best defense, so now this makes me rethink. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey are obviously the best, one of the few best players in the NFL, but this really changes everything you have to think about the Rams. But I'll just leave it at that. I think they'll be a great playoff team, but I don't see them being Super Bowl contenders just off of this stupid loss that you really have to think about them. But like I said, this is about the Jets, the Jaguars, and Trevor Lawrence. I personally love this win. I made a video about this, how I think Bill Belichick could purposely lose to give the Jets a win and make sure Trevor Lawrence doesn't go to the Jets and gets out of the AFC East division so Belichick doesn't have to face him every year. Whether I'm right or wrong with that come week 17, doesn't matter. Jets got their win and lost their number one pick. A lot of people anticipated the Jets to ship off Sam Darnold to another team, bench him, and take Trevor Lawrence in the draft, which is understandable because Trevor Lawrence, amongst many NFL fans, college football fans, believe Trevor Lawrence is definitely a future NFL star and is arguably the best prospect in like a decade since Andrew Luck came out in 2012. Dude's one of a kind. He has amazing tangibles all around. His frame, 6'6", is pretty rare in the NFL. Most guys are 6'3", 6'4", and then you got a few guys being 6'1", 6 foot, 5'10". I mean, you got Kyler Murray, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson all being kind of short. Trevor Lawrence, he's got the perfect frame, being 6'6". The dude's accurate. The dude's got arm strength. He's actually pretty mobile. A lot of quarterbacks, they're not really mobile. I mean, of course, you have Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray, but you have guys like Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers. Those dudes can't move. They're freaking fossils. Trevor Lawrence, he's not Lamar Jackson's speed, but he gets athletic and can get out of the pocket just like better than any other quarterback. So he just really has all the tangibles you want to see in a quarterback, and that's why he's one of the best prospects in the past decade. This really opens up an opportunity for the Jaguars just to recruit everyone. Everyone's going to want to play with this kid. Like I said, he's arguably the best prospect in a decade, so that's meaningful, meaning he could be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and a lot of guys want their ring, and they might believe in Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars being a small team that doesn't really have a huge fan base. They'll definitely have bigger ticket sales, get more fans, get more bandwagons, and possibly, like I said, recruit other guys. I know it's not college where you're recruiting kids from high school, but that doesn't mean you don't have people looking at Trevor Lawrence and just knowing and wanting to go play for him. This doesn't mean other coaches don't want to go coach him. Bill Belichick, who says he won't go to the Jaguars if he leaves the Patriots, if he doesn't go to the Chargers, if he goes and gets the best prospect in the country, I mean, you can't tell me it wouldn't be tempting for him. And if you look at what he has in New England, he pretty much has nothing. Cam Newton's not MVP Cam by any means anymore. He's got no wide receivers. His running backs aren't anything above average. His defense has Stephon Gilmore, and that's it. I'm Bill Belichick, and if you're Bill Belichick, you have to think the opportunity is 100% tempting. I mean, however, now if you also look at the New York Jets, being the number one pick, when they had the number one pick, no matter what the trade came in, you didn't really think the Jets would take a trade offer. Just Trevor Lawrence being, like I said, once in a decade type of talent. Doesn't matter what the offer is, you don't want to give it, you don't want to trade, and you want to draft that guy and have him be your franchise player for the next 15 years. What's 2 first-round picks going to get me? Just possibly 2 great players, but even that's a risk. There's busts in the draft. I hope Trevor Lawrence isn't a bust because there's a lot of hype behind this kid. I'm hoping the best for him, and I'm rooting for him for sure. I'm rooting for him in Clemson right now, and I'm not even a Clemson fan. But now the Jets are in an interesting position being in the number 2 spot. Is Justin Fields that much better than Sam Darnold? Can they take a trade package from Justin Fields? That makes a lot more sense because, yes, Justin Fields is phenomenal talent, but he's not Trevor Lawrence talent per se by any means. So I definitely think the Jets will be open to trading the number 2 pick, put stuff around Sam Darnold. I think the Jets' biggest problem is whether they got Justin Fields, Sam Darnold, Trevor Lawrence, is that entire coaching staff. I mean, Adam Gase, yeah, sure, the guy did something right today, obviously, against the Los Angeles Rams, but we know he's not a stellar coach by any means. He's not brought success or any playoff hopes to that team at all his time there. And yeah, I get his team isn't stellar, and that coaches get a bad rap sometimes having a terrible team. They can't do it all. Yes, they could coach a team when you don't give them good players. They can't do it all. However, Adam Gase has just showed zero progress. He's actually deteriorating, declining, and he's just going backwards. He's not showing the Jets any hope, so I hope they get rid of him. I think it'll be interesting, and I hope for both teams. I hope the Jaguars get Trevor Lawrence. I've said in the past, I'm a Bucs fan, but I do, since I live in Florida, as you guys know, we go to UF. We pretty much all just root for Florida teams, not try to sign a bandwagon with 3 teams, but we just, kind of just root for our state. I mean, it's not the biggest bandwagon thing in the world, so that would be cool. I think Miami's a decent team. The Bucs are a decent team now, and then Jacksonville getting Trevor Lawrence. That's going to be 3 solid Florida teams in the future that I'd love to root for. I truthfully think Trevor Lawrence will definitely, obviously the Jaguars are in the best position by any means to create a Super Bowl team right now, but they have a lot better foundation than the New York Jets. I mean, the Jets have no running back, no receivers, no defense really. Jets, they're struggling a little, but they have somewhat more of a foundation between a very solid rookie running back right now and James Robinson. A couple good receivers. You got these, I think is the rookie this year, I want to say his last name's Chenault. I know I'm saying that wrong, but I know he's a solid rookie this year, and along with DJ Chark. So they do have some talent on the offense. Defense definitely needs some work, but the foundation is there. And like I said, say you get Bill Belichick, you got a good running back, you got a good receiver, and you got an amazing quarterback. Bill Belichick can make that work. He's going to probably go 8-8 this year with complete scraps. I think if you give him just any bit of talent, Bill Belichick could take that team to the next level. Now, I'm getting a little speculative right now because I don't think Bill Belichick will go to the Jaguars, but I'm just saying, overall, it doesn't matter who's coaching the Jaguars. Once they get Trevor Lawrence, they pretty much have all they need. No more excuses for the Jaguars. Pick up some free agents, further up your draft, further build your team through the draft, spend that salary cap, build this team around Trevor Lawrence. Don't mess this up. This is like a once-in-a-decade type of thing. This is like LeBron James going to the Cavaliers. This is like Andrew Luck going to the Colts, Peyton Manning going to the Colts. This is a one type of type of talent. The Jaguars cannot mess this up. I'm hoping for the best for Trevor Lawrence. I think the Jets, I don't want to say they lucked out because obviously Trevor Lawrence is much better than Justin Fields, but I do think the Jets need to worry about building their overall team, which they can do through a trade package for Justin Fields rather than just changing out one guy. Yes, the quarterback's the most important position, but when you give him nothing around him, it doesn't matter who's that quarterback. If he has no one to throw to, there's no one to throw to. So I think the Jets need to worry about their overall team rather than one position. Jaguars, like I said, aren't in a much better position, but they have a much better foundation to at least build off of and continue to grow with in future years. Love this for the Jaguars. I think the Jets in the long run, this might work out if they do it properly. Love for Trevor Lawrence, rooting for him. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Any other videos you see, what you think Trevor Lawrence should do, so on and so forth. And this really is a debate. What if Trevor Lawrence doesn't even go to the NFL? We assume he will, but still, anything can happen. Let me know what you guys think. 2-minute warning.